You are always manifesting. Whether you know it or not, whether you believe it or not, the law is working silently, faithfully, without fail. The invisible forces of thought and word are shaping your reality this very moment. Man is not the victim of circumstance. He is the creator of it. The outer world is but a mirror of the inner world. The law of attraction is not wishful thinking. It is divine law in motion. You do not draw to yourself what you merely want. You draw what you are in thought, in belief, in speech. Every idle word is a seed sown into the fertile soil of the subconscious. So, if your life appears as confusion, lack, delay, or disorder, it is not fate. It is the reflection of inner disorder. But here lies your power. The moment you recognize this law and align with it consciously, you become the master of conditions, not the slave. What you dare to speak, with unwavering faith you shall receive. When you speak, you imprint the ethers. The word goes forth and gathers to itself every condition, every person, every event necessary to bring it to pass. Under grace, in perfect ways. The subconscious is never idle. It is always at work, bringing form to your inner world. And so I say, declare only what you desire to see. Let no word pass your lips that you would not wish to make manifest. Speak not of illness, lest you imprint it. Speak not of lack, lest you magnify it. Speak only abundance, only peace, only divine right outcomes. For the word is your wand, and it shall not return void. He who controls his tongue controls his destiny. Let the word be charged with faith, backed by feeling, and spoken with divine authority. Then the law rushes to perform it. Conditions must bend, doors must open, and what was invisible must become visible. For the spoken word, spoken in faith, is more powerful than kings and empires. It carries the full force of God behind it. Use it wisely. The word without belief is as sounding brass and tinkling cymbal, but the word charged with faith is divine lightning. It cuts through appearances, it dissolves delays, it opens every shut door. Faith is the engine, the fire, the electricity that drives the word into manifestation. But it is not faith in the seen. It is faith in the unseen, faith in the invisible supply, faith in the perfection of divine law. And how is this faith built? Through practice, through affirmation, through repetition. Speak the truth until it becomes the only voice you hear. Faith is not hope. Hope waits, but faith knows. Faith is action, preparation, certainty before the evidence appears. When the soul speaks, it is done. The law says, yes. You must speak what is not yet visible as if it already is, and it will be. The substance of things hoped for becomes form when you declare it so. A woman came to me and said, I want wealth, but I have nothing. I said, that is the very error. You are declaring lack and expecting supply. You must reverse the words. She began to declare, my supply is endless, inexhaustible, and immediate. She prepared her purse to receive. She gave as though she had plenty, and the floodgates opened. The law does not delay. Man delays by his doubt, his fear, and his idle word. So I say again, your word is your wand, and faith is the hand that holds it. Do not cast it into the mud of worry and fear, but lift it with certainty and command, let there be light, and light will appear. The law cannot fail, but you must not fail to use it with spiritual precision. Speak with power, walk in faith, and expect only divine outcomes. The law will answer swiftly and in full. Imagination is the workshop of the soul, the sacred ground where God and man co-create. That which you see within clearly and without fear must become flesh. The images held in the silence of your inner mind are not fantasy. They are divine blueprints whispered into the ether by spirit. God gave man the power to imagine so that he might build the invisible into the visible. Every castle, every coin, every healed body, every divine relationship began first as an image fully formed in the imagination, then pressed upon the subconscious and brought forth through faith. What you cannot see within, you will not hold without. And what you continue to see within, without resistance or contradiction, will be born in time, for that is divine law. The imagination must be disciplined, not left to run wild with fear or fantasy. Many say they imagine, but they only rehearse worry. They imagine loss, betrayal, sickness, failure, and so they manifest it. The law is not sentimental. It simply gives form to the pattern impressed upon it. Therefore, you must guard your inner vision as you would a treasure chest. Allow no enemy thought to enter. When fear rises, replace it with a divine image. When doubt knocks, open the door only to faith. Speak aloud. I now see clearly the good that is mine. It is real, it is radiant, and it is rushing to me now. Feel the thing is already done. Smell it, hear it, touch it. Impress the subconscious with its reality. And above all, detach from how it shall appear. The law knows the way. You are not the maker, you are the visionary. Is to see it, to feel it, to speak it, and to prepare for it. A man once came to me and said, I want to attract a great opportunity, but nothing ever changes. I asked him, what do you see when you close your eyes? He said, I see myself struggling. I told him, that is the root of your delay. Change the picture. He began to imagine himself standing tall, smiling, shaking hands, doors opening before him. He walked through the day as if that vision were already true. Within weeks, what seemed impossible came to pass. The law had been waiting, not for time, but for vision. God works through the picture man holds. The clearer the vision, the sooner the manifestation. Therefore, I say unto you, dream wisely. Imagine powerfully. See only the good, the whole, the perfect. Say to yourself daily, I now see the life I desire. I now feel it in every cell. I now know it is mine. Let the vision be consistent, joyful, unshaken by appearances. And the law, which never forgets, shall shape it into your world, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Fear is inverted faith. It is faith in evil instead of good, in failure instead of victory, in lack instead of supply. Wherever fear is active, the law is misused. Fear magnetizes the very thing it dreads. It is not passive. It is a spiritual force charged with belief, and what is feared comes quickly because it is fervently imagined, deeply felt, and consistently spoken. But the law is impersonal. It does not judge your vibration. It simply responds to it. And so I say to the soul gripped by fear, you are not a victim of fear. You are the master of it. You can cast it out with the same power by which it was created. The spoken word, charged with the fire of faith. Fear cannot stand before a voice of truth. When doubt rises, do not analyze it. Cast it out. When the inner enemy whispers, "Won't happen," answer boldly, "God's divine idea for me is now manifesting in perfect ways. I do not fear. I believe. The battle is not outside you. It is always within the mind. And the victory comes through repetition, through the daily discipline of speaking faith-filled words, even when the senses scream otherwise. The senses are liars when ruled by fear. They are faithful when governed by spirit. Say not, "I'm afraid this won't work." Say instead, "Every cell of my being is now aligned with divine certainty. What is mine cannot be withheld." You must act in spite of fear, and the fear will dissolve like mist before the morning sun. Do not wait for courage. Act, speak, walk, and prepare as if the thing is already done. That is faith in action, and it moves mountains. A woman once said to me, "I am afraid to ask for too much. What if I'm disappointed?" I told her, "You are not asking God. You are asking fear, and fear cannot give. Ask boldly. Expect magnificently. Prepare thoroughly, and your faith shall part seas." Every step taken in faith is a declaration to the law. I believe in divine good. I reject all illusions of lack. And the law, seeing no resistance, responds without delay. Your words must never align with fear. Your speech is either planting weeds or flowers. So when fear rises, do not describe it, decree over it. Declare aloud, "I cast out all fear. I am fearless in spirit, fearless in truth, fearless in love. God's plan for me is success, and I walk in it now." The enemy flees at the sound of truth. Speak boldly. Walk upright. Let your eyes see only divine outcomes, and your lips speak only victory. Then fear shall fall like dust, and the vibration of your soul shall call forth every good and perfect thing ordained for you. Delay is not denial. What man calls delay, God calls divine preparation. The unawakened soul sees time as a thief, but the awakened soul knows time is a servant of the law. Nothing comes too soon or too late when man aligns with divine order. The thing you have spoken for, prayed for, imagined and prepared for is not lost. It is not forgotten. It is not withheld. It is moving toward you now, through channels unseen, in exact accordance with your faith and your words. For when the soul is ready, the thing appears not one moment before, not one moment after. Many fail to receive because they rush, they grasp, they panic. They say, "Why hasn't it come?" And in that moment, they cancel the order. They dig up the seed. They disturb the process. They replace faith with doubt and then call it delay. But the wise man waits in peace. He knows that every apparent pause is divine choreography, and every day without the thing is part of the path to it. He does not murmur, he does not beg. He thanks. He prepares. He praises. He speaks only a fulfillment, even when no sign is yet visible. I once counseled a woman who declared daily, "My perfect home now appears." Weeks passed. Nothing came. She was tempted to give up. But I said, "Continue your declarations. God is not mocked. The law is at work even now." Soon after, the perfect home came, better than she imagined, at a price beyond her expectation, in a neighborhood she had never considered. She said, "I would have missed it had I rushed or doubted." And so it is with all things born of spirit. They come not by force, but by alignment. Divine timing is not random. It is divine precision. Therefore, do not be deceived by appearances. If the thing is not yet visible, it is only because it is still being prepared, or you are still being prepared for it. Speak this truth aloud. Divine order governs my life. Every delay is now transformed into perfect timing. What is mine is rushing to me, and I prepare with joy. That is the speech of mastery. That is the word that quickens the law. The impatient soul interrupts the blessing. The faithful soul completes the circuit. Patience is not waiting with anxiety. It is waiting with full confidence that God's clock does not miss a second. So I say to you, release the timeline. Relinquish control. Stop watching the calendar. Instead, watch your words, for they are the true clock of your manifestation. Time obeys the soul that speaks with authority. The unseen becomes seen at the appointed hour. And if you are aligned, it shall be the perfect hour, the hour of revelation, the hour of delivery, the hour of divine fulfillment. Preparation is the highest form of faith. When a man truly believes, he prepares, not tomorrow, not when he sees a sign, but now. Faith does not wait for proof. Faith is the proof. The soul that walks in certainty begins to make room for the miracle, for it knows that what is claimed in spirit must appear in matter. To say, I believe, and yet make no preparation, is to speak empty words, but to prepare as though the thing were already yours is to place a demand on the law, and the law, being perfect, answers with swift manifestation. A woman once said to me, I've been affirming for my divine companion, but nothing has changed. I asked her, have you made space for him in your home? Have you prepared the table for two? Have you released the old to make room for the new? She had not. She was still living in the vibration of waiting. I told her, begin now. Dress your mind, your home, your heart in expectation. She cleared a drawer, set 2 places for dinner, and walked with joy as though the companion were already near. In a short time, he appeared, and he was everything she had spoken and more. For she had passed the test of faith. She had prepared before she saw. You must do the same. If you are calling in abundance, then walk in the vibration of wealth. Do not speak of someday, or hopefully. Speak, it is done, and act accordingly. Replace the worn purse. Give with generosity. Stop rehearsing scarcity. If it is a new career you seek, prepare your resume, dress the part, walk as one already chosen. The law responds to vibration, not begging. If you are praying for healing, do not speak of sickness. Speak of strength, of renewal, of vitality. Begin to move your body with gratitude, not complaint. Show the law that you are ready, and it will rush to meet you. Divine supply does not enter where chaos reigns. You must clear the clutter of your speech, your habits, your expectations. Create the vacuum, and the substance will come. Nature abhors a vacuum, and spirit fills every space made ready for it. So I say, prepare in silence, prepare in joy, prepare in faith. Let your every action declare, my good is here, and I receive it now. The faithful do not wait. They build, they arrange, they step forward as if the unseen were already seen. And behold, it becomes seen. Say aloud, I now prepare for the thing I have prayed for. I welcome it, I receive it, I make room for it. My preparation is my prophecy, and so it is. Man limits God when he clings to the how. The intellect, though useful, is not the author of miracles. It cannot comprehend the infinite ways in which divine supply may move. When you declare your good and then demand it appear through a specific person, place, or method, you have tied the hands of spirit. You must release the channel and trust the source. God is the giver, the gift, and the way. The channel is but an instrument. The source is eternal and unlimited. The law of attraction does not require your manipulation. It requires your alignment. Your work is not to make it happen. Your work is to know it is done and to remain in a state of divine expectation. The one who trusts in divine mind lets go of all scheming, grasping, and human pressure. He says, "This or something better now," manifests for me channels known and unknown, under grace, in perfect ways. That is the language of spiritual mastery. That is how you stay in the flow of divine compensation. A man once said to me, "I want success, but I don't see any opportunities." I asked him, "Have you released your demand that it must come through your current job? Through one company, one person, one idea?" He had not. He was trying to force the good through one narrow pipe, while spirit held oceans in store. I said, "Take your eyes off the channel and fix your gaze on God. Begin to declare, unexpected doors now open. My supply is delivered through the perfect channel, and I do not concern myself with the means." Within days, he received an offer from a direction he had never considered. Better, freer, and more abundant than he had dared to plan. You must let go of the mechanism. The bridge of incidents is not your concern. You are not the orchestrator. You are the receiver. The subconscious, when impressed with faith, sets the law into motion. People will be moved, conditions shifted, paths cleared. Not by your control, but by your surrender. Let the Spirit surprise you. Let the law work its wonders in ways that astonish the senses. Say aloud, "I now release the how. I release the who, the when, the where. I trust the infinite intelligence to arrange all things for my highest good. I rest in divine knowing, and I expect miracles. Then watch, for when the mind steps back, God steps forward. The end is the beginning." In divine mind, the thing you desire already exists, complete, perfect, whole. You are not creating it. You are revealing it through faith and word. The way to bring it forth is not to speak of the process, not to dwell on the obstacles, not to rehearse the delays, but to speak only the end result, as if it were already your reality. The law does not respond to confusion. It responds to clarity, to boldness, to the vibration of "it is done." You must train your tongue to become a holy instrument. Every word you speak is a decree. It is either building the good or delaying it. Speak not of trying. Speak of triumph. Say not, "I hope it works," but "It is already mine by divine right." When you decree the end, the law begins to arrange the means. The soul that speaks victory walks differently, thinks differently, moves differently, because it knows that the unseen is more real than the seen. The word is the seed, and it bears fruit after its kind. Decree the final harvest, and do not look back. Begin each day with your spiritual declarations. Not idle words, but living, breathing affirmations of truth. They are the script by which the universe takes its cues. Say aloud, "Today, I walk in power." Every person, place, and event now aligns with my divine good. My supply is immediate. My path is clear. My body is whole. My relationships are harmonious, and my destiny is fulfilled. Do not wait for signs. Be the sign. Do not wait for the world to change. Speak as if it already has. The law obeys the one who speaks with spiritual authority. A woman once came to me in distress. Her business was failing, her body weak, her faith nearly extinguished. I said, "Do not speak another word of failure. From this moment, decree only success. Declare aloud your completion, your prosperity, your perfect health. Even if your senses contradict it, your word will override the visible." She obeyed. She spoke the end daily, unwaveringly. And the appearances began to yield. Clients returned, her strength renewed, and new doors opened. She had mastered the art of speaking from the end, and the end became her new beginning. So I say unto you, guard your speech as a king guards his throne. Do not give voice to what you do not wish to experience. Let your daily decrees be your foundation. Speak the desired outcome with joy, with gratitude, with conviction. Declare what God has already prepared, not with hesitation, but with holy boldness. The more you decree, the more you believe. The more you believe, the faster it comes. Say aloud, I now speak my good into form. I decree only divine outcomes. The word is made flesh, and I see it now. And so it is.